The country of Mexico is a vibrant tourist destination with a rich tapestry of cultural, historical, and natural attractions. However, amidst that is a bloodthirsty, dark underbelly in contrast to the beauty of the country. Unfortunately, even tourists have been caught in the crosshairs of this dark underbelly.
American tourist in recovery back in the U.S. and telling his story tonight about a nightmare in Mexico. He was mugged and left for dead.
In this video, we are going to be taking you through the stories of 16 tourists who were murdered on camera by the Mexican drug cartels. Zindel Shaid and Eric. Our story begins with a group of 4 friends from the United States who embarked on a trip to Mexico in search of a cosmetic procedure known as a tummy tuck. Shaid Woodard, Zindel Brown, Eric James Williams, and Latavia Tay McGee were filled with excitement as they crossed the US border into Mexico on March 3rd. Little did they know that their journey would soon take a terrifying turn. The group traveled in a white minivan with North Carolina license plates, making their way to the city of Matamoros in the state of Tamaulipas. Matamoros, an area dominated by the Gulf Cartel, is known for its violence and criminal activities. Despite the warnings and risks associated with traveling to this region, the group remained determined to proceed with their plans. Latavia McGee's mother, Barbara Burgess, expressed her concerns about the trip, warning her daughter about the potential dangers. However, Latavia reassured her mother, saying, "Ma, I'll be okay." With those words, the group continued their journey, unaware of the tragedy that awaited them. On Friday, March 3rd, the group found themselves in Matamoros, just 15 minutes away from the cosmetic surgeon's office where Latavia was scheduled to have the procedure. It was supposed to be a day of transformation and rejuvenation, but little did they know that their lives were about to be turned upside down. Latavia's mother, Barbara, anxiously awaited a call from her daughter after the procedure. However, as the hours passed, her phone remained silent. Concerned, Barbara tried calling Latavia, but her calls went straight to voicemail. Something was terribly wrong. It wasn't long before Barbara received a visit from an FBI agent delivering the devastating news. Latavia, along with her friends Shaid, Zindel, and Eric, had been kidnapped. The news shattered Barbara's world, and she struggled to comprehend the nightmare her daughter was now trapped in. Zindel Brown's sister, Zalandria Brown, revealed that her younger brother had voiced concerns about traveling to such a dangerous place. He had warned the group, saying, "We shouldn't go down." Despite the warnings, Zindel decided to join his friends on the trip, believing that they would be safe together. The group's ill-fated trip took a horrifying turn when they came under fire from a group of armed men. In a matter of moments, they were forcibly bundled into the back of a pickup truck, their lives hanging in the balance. The scene was captured in a disturbing video circulating on social media showing the armed men callously loading the victims into the vehicle. As the truck sped away, one individual managed to sit upright while the others were dragged limp into the vehicle. The fate of the 4 friends was now uncertain, and their families were left in a state of shock and despair. As news of the abduction spread, authorities on both sides of the border sprang into action. The FBI and Mexican authorities worked tirelessly to locate the missing Americans and bring them to safety. Days turned into a nerve-wracking wait for their families, unsure of the fate that awaited their loved ones. Finally, a breakthrough came when the victims were found at a stash house in a rural area east of Matamoros called Ejido Longoreño. The rescue operation was a tense and dangerous affair, but the determination of the authorities prevailed. Pictures captured by the Associated Press showed the emotional moment when the survivors were freed from their captors. Latavia McGee, a survivor of the abduction, emerged unharmed from the ordeal. Eric James Williams, though injured with a gunshot wound to his leg, is expected to make a full recovery. The survivors have since returned to the United States, where they are receiving the support and care they need. Lisbeth Flores. On the fateful night of August 9th, 2020, Lisbeth, a 23-year-old woman from Brownsville, Texas, received a phone call that would change her life forever. The caller, Braulio Martinez, informed her that her boyfriend had been kidnapped, setting in motion a series of events that would lead to Lisbeth's tragic demise. As the investigation unfolded, the horrifying details of her murder emerged, painting a picture of unimaginable brutality. Every single one of Lisbeth's teeth was forcibly removed, her scalp sliced off, and her head crushed by a large rock. The shocking nature of the crime, coupled with the mysterious circumstances surrounding it, has left many questions unanswered. Join us as we delve into the chilling story of the murder of Lisbeth Flores. It was the 9th of August 2020 when Lisbeth received a call that would change her life forever. On the other end of the line was Braulio Martinez, a man she was acquainted with. Braulio delivered chilling news, informing Lisbeth that her boyfriend had been kidnapped. Without hesitation, she made a life-altering decision to cross the United States-Mexican border and head to Matamoros, a city city known for its dangerous underbelly. Leaving behind their 2 young children, aged 4 and 8 months, Lisbeth embarked on a treacherous journey to save her partner from the clutches of his captors. Upon reaching the border, Lisbeth crossed the Veterans International Bridge on foot. Before venturing further into the unknown, she made a quick call to her mother, Maria, to inform her of her sudden departure. Lisbeth explained that she needed to head into Mexico quickly to sort something out, assuring her mother that she would be back later that very same night. However, she made no mention of her boyfriend's kidnapping or the true reason behind her urgent trip. Maria, Lisbeth's mother, didn't think much of her daughter's sudden decision to go to Mexico. After all, her boyfriend lived across the border, and it was not uncommon for Lisbeth to make the trip. Unbeknownst to Maria, this would be the last conversation she would have with her daughter. As the night wore on and Lisbeth failed to return home, worry consumed Maria and her other daughter, Carmen. They frantically tried to reach out to Lisbeth, making numerous calls and leaving messages, but there was no response. The silence was deafening, and a sense of unease settled over them. With each passing hour, the concern grew, and Maria and Carmen decided to reach out to those who knew Lisbeth, hoping for any information about her whereabouts. They messaged a number of friends, but to their dismay, no one else had heard from her. Carmen, Lisbeth's sister, also reached out to Braulio, as he was acquainted with the family. She asked him if he had seen her sister anywhere, hoping he could provide some insight into her sudden vanishing. However, Braulio claimed to have had no contact with Lisbeth recently, adding another layer of confusion to the already perplexing case. After 24 agonizing hours of uncertainty, Lisbeth's family decided to take matters into their own hands. They contacted the police, seeking their assistance in finding their missing loved one. However, the police informed them that there was little they could do at that moment, but suggested filing a missing person report. The clock was ticking, and every passing minute felt like an eternity for Lisbeth's family. Another day passed, and still there was no word from Lisbeth. The sense of dread intensified as hope dwindled. Then, on the 11th of August 2020, a body was found in a grassy field near a construction site known to be frequented by criminals. It was Lisbeth's lifeless body, a sight that would haunt her family forever. The police arrived at the scene, greeted by a gruesome and horrifying sight. Lisbeth's body was found half naked, with every single one of her teeth forcibly removed. The skin on her scalp had been gruesomely sliced off, and her head had been brutally crushed by a large rock found nearby. The brutality of the crime sent shockwaves through the community, leaving everyone searching for answers. Strangely enough, her skull was also discovered next to her body, adding another layer of mystery to an already chilling crime scene. The details of Lisbeth's murder were beyond comprehension, and her family was left devastated by the unimaginable pain she had endured in her final moments. As the investigation unfolded, a glimmer of hope emerged. A set of fingerprints was discovered on Lisbeth's body, providing a crucial lead for the authorities. The fingerprints were run through a database, and to their shock, a match was found. The prints belonged to Braulio Martinez, the very man who had made the chilling phone call to Lisbeth. Braulio's past came to light, revealing a dark and disturbing history. He had served 4 years in prison from 2006 to 2010, after being found guilty of 2 counts of sexual assault on a child. The pieces of the puzzle were slowly coming together, but many questions remained unanswered. What exactly happened on that fateful night? Was Lisbeth's boyfriend truly kidnapped, or was it all part of Braulio's twisted plan? The motive behind the murder was still officially ruled as a robbery gone wrong, but the shocking details of the crime suggested a more personal and sinister motive. The Mexican government offered assistance in repatriating Lisbeth's body to the United States, but Jackson Funeral Home stepped in to provide support, ensuring that she was returned to her grieving family. A GoFundMe campaign was set up to help cover the funeral expenses, a small glimmer of support in the face of such tragedy. The Matamoros area, where Lisbeth's body was found, has been plagued by the presence of cartel groups, leading to a surge in serious crimes. While the police have accepted the murder as a robbery gone wrong, the shocking nature of the crime raises questions about the true motives behind Lisbeth's brutal killing. The post-mortem examination revealed a horrifying truth. Lisbeth had suffered blunt force trauma to the head, which ultimately led to her untimely demise. The investigators meticulously examined her body, searching for any clues that could lead them to the killer. As the investigation progressed, the police turned their attention to the phone records, hoping to uncover any additional evidence. They discovered that the phone call Lisbeth had made to her mother, Maria, had been placed on Braulio's Braulio's phone. This discovery further solidified the connection between Braulio and the crime. Armed with this newfound evidence, the police had a strong enough reason to arrest Braulio Martinez. On the 18th of August, 2020, 1 week after Lisbeth had gone missing, the police descended upon Braulio's home, apprehending him and bringing him in for questioning. During the interrogation, Braulio confessed to luring Lisbeth away from her home by fabricating the story of her boyfriend's kidnapping. However, the true nature of the boyfriend's involvement remained unclear. It was reported that Braulio had orchestrated the ruse to rob Lisbeth of the ransom money she had brought to free her boyfriend. What exactly transpired at the location where Lisbeth was attacked and the events that led to her brutal murder were still undisclosed. Patrick Braxton Andrew. On October 24th, Braxton Andrew bid farewell to his family and friends as he left North Carolina for Mexico. His destination, the picturesque Copper Canyon National Park, a place known for its breathtaking beauty and rugged terrain. Braxton Andrew, an avid traveler and fluent Spanish speaker, was no stranger to Central America. He had previously worked for the Davidson College Study Abroad program in Peru, immersing himself in the rich culture and language of the region. As Braxton Andrew boarded the train towards Copper Canyon National Park, excitement filled the air. The train journey offered stunning views of the Mexican landscape with its towering cliffs and deep canyons. Braxton Andrew's passion for exploration and his love for nature made this trip a dream come true. Braxton Andrew's journey continued as he arrived in Urique, a municipality in Mexico's northwestern state of Chihuahua, on October 26th or 27th. The small village, nestled amidst the rugged terrain, was the perfect starting point for his hiking expedition. Braxton Andrew checked into a local hotel, his excitement palpable. The hotel owner later recalled how Braxton Andrew seemed eager to explore the surrounding area, immersing himself in the local culture and taking in the natural wonders that awaited him. Braxton Andrew's thirst for adventure led him to embark on a walk on October 28th, leaving his hotel behind. He planned to explore the dirt road that the hotel owner had mentioned, eager to discover the hidden treasures that awaited him. Hours turned into days, and Braxton Andrew failed to return to his hotel. Concerned, his family reached out to the hotel owner, who informed them of his disappearance. Panic set in as they realized that something was terribly wrong. The news of Braxton Andrew's disappearance spread like wildfire, capturing the attention of both local and international media. The search for him began, with authorities and volunteers combing the area in a desperate attempt to find any trace of the missing teacher. Days turned into weeks, and hope began to fade. The rugged terrain and dense vegetation posed challenges for the search teams, making it difficult to cover every inch of the area, but they remained determined, driven by the desire to bring Braxton Andrew back to his loved ones. Weeks of tireless searching came to a devastating end when authorities made a grim discovery. Patrick Braxton Andrew's lifeless body was found about a mile away from the road leading to the village of Guapalaina to Las Lajas in Urique. The area where Braxton Andrew's body was found had already been searched, leading officials to believe that his body had been deliberately placed there. The circumstances surrounding his death raised more questions than answers. How did he end up on that dirt road, and who was responsible for his untimely demise? Autopsy results revealed that Braxton Andrew died from a gunshot wound to the head. Tatiana Mirutenko. It was supposed to be a dream vacation for Tatiana Mirutenko, a 27-year-old American tourist from San Francisco. Alongside her husband and two close friends, she embarked on a journey to Mexico City, eager to explore the vibrant culture and immerse themselves in the rich history of the city. Their first few days were filled with excitement and awe as they visited iconic landmarks, indulged in delicious Mexican cuisine, and experienced the warmth of the locals. Little did they know that their adventure would take a horrifying turn, shattering their dreams and leaving them in a state of unimaginable grief. On that fateful night, Tatiana and her companions decided to dine at a popular taco restaurant in the upscale neighborhood of Lomas de Chapultepec. The atmosphere was lively, with laughter and conversation filling the air as patrons enjoyed their meals. As the night drew to a close, Tatiana and her group bid farewell to the restaurant, unaware that danger lurked just outside its doors. In a matter of seconds, chaos erupted as gunmen on a motorcycle unleashed a hail of bullets, targeting a man identified as a bouncer at a nearby bar. Caught in the crossfire, Tatiana was struck by a stray bullet, her life cut short in a senseless act of violence. The attackers swiftly fled the scene, leaving behind a scene of devastation and heartbreak. The news of Tatiana's murder sent shockwaves through her loved ones, her community, and the world. How could a young woman, full of life and adventure, fall victim to such a tragic fate? The incident raised questions about the safety of tourists in Mexico and shed light on the presence of drug cartels and the violence they perpetrate. As the investigation into Tatiana Mirutenko's murder unfolds, we are left to grapple with the harsh reality that even the most idyllic vacations can turn into nightmares. Join us as we delve deeper into this chilling story, uncovering the shocking details and shedding light on the dark forces that claimed Tatiana's life. The news of Tatiana Mirutenko's tragic murder reverberated across the globe, leaving a trail of sorrow and disbelief in its wake. Her family, friends, and colleagues in San Francisco were shattered by the loss of a vibrant and promising young woman. The void left by her absence was immeasurable, and the pain of her untimely death was felt deeply by all who knew her. Tatiana's employer, Nectar Therapeutics, released a heartfelt statement describing her as a bright and passionate rising star. Her positive energy, insight, and sheer enthusiasm for life had touched the lives of many, both within and outside the company. The world mourned the loss of a remarkable individual whose potential was cut short by an act of senseless violence. The international community also reacted with shock and outrage. Tatiana's murder served as a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk in certain parts of the world, even for innocent tourists seeking adventure and cultural experiences. It sparked conversations about the safety of travel and the need for heightened awareness when visiting unfamiliar destinations. Mexican authorities swiftly launched an investigation into the incident, determined to bring the perpetrators to justice. The U.S. Bureau of Consular Affairs confirmed Tatiana's death and provided support to her grieving family. The case became a focal point for discussions on the presence of drug cartels and the violence they inflict upon communities. Tatiana's murder shed light on a larger issue plaguing Mexico and other regions affected by drug-related violence. It served as a wake-up call for governments and law enforcement agencies to address the root causes of such violence and work towards creating safer environments for both locals and tourists. Lebaron family. La Mora, a small and isolated community located in the Bavispe municipality of Sonora, Mexico, was predominantly composed of American-Mexican independent Mormons. The residents of this tight-knit community lived a peaceful and simple life, far away from the chaos of the outside world. However, on that fateful day, their tranquility was shattered. It was a sunny afternoon when a three-car convoy set out from La Mora, carrying members of the extended Lebaron family. Little did they know that their journey would turn into a nightmare. Gunmen, believed to be associated with a notorious drug cartel, ambushed the convoy, opening fire without mercy. The attack targeted 3 SUVs, and chaos ensued as bullets rained down on the innocent victims. One of the vehicles caught fire, engulfing it in flames. Ronita Miller Lebaron and her 4 children trapped inside were unable to escape the inferno. Their lives were tragically cut short, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. The violence didn't stop there. Christina Langford, a brave mother who jumped out of her vehicle to show she posed no threat, was mercilessly gunned down. The attackers showed no mercy, even towards the most vulnerable. 6 children, all with dual US-Mexican citizenship, lost their lives in this senseless act of violence. The victims of this horrific attack were laid to rest in La Mora and Colonia Lebaron, their funerals attended by hundreds of grieving individuals. The pain and sorrow felt by the community were immeasurable as they struggled to come to terms with the loss of their loved ones. Initially, Mexican authorities believed that this was a case of mistaken identity, a tragic error that claimed the lives of innocent victims. However, as the investigation progressed, a different narrative began to emerge. It was revealed that the Lebaron family was believed to be mistaken for a cartel convoy caught in the crossfire of rival gangs. The Mexican government, realizing the gravity of the situation, invited the assistance of the FBI to aid in the investigation. The search for justice began as law enforcement agencies worked tirelessly to bring the perpetrators of this heinous act to justice. In December 2019, several suspects were apprehended, shedding light on the dark underbelly of the drug cartel world. And in November 2020, a breakthrough occurred when 3 members of the La Linea drug cartel were arrested, including the supposed mastermind behind the attack. The arrests brought a glimmer of hope to the grieving families as they sought closure and justice for their loved ones. The Lebaron and Langford families' massacre ignited international outrage and calls for increased cooperation between Mexico and the United States in combating the ruthless drug cartels that plague the region. Anjali Riot. Anjali Riot, a vibrant and adventurous travel blogger hailing from Himachal Pradesh, met a tragic end during what was supposed to be a joyous celebration of her 30th birthday. This shocking incident unfolded in the picturesque Caribbean coast resort of Tulum, Mexico, where Anjali and her husband, Utkarsh Shrivastava, had embarked on a vacation to mark this special milestone. However, their evening took a horrifying turn when a shootout erupted between rival drug gangs, claiming the lives of Anjali and another German tourist. tourist. The crossfire, fueled by the dangerous underworld of drug sales, left the couple's dreams shattered and their loved ones devastated. It was a sunny day in San Jose, California, where Anjali Riot and her husband, Utkarsh Srivastavu, resided. Anjali, a talented senior site reliability engineer, had been eagerly counting down the days to her milestone 30th birthday. Little did she know that this celebration would take an unexpected turn. Anjali and Utkarsh, both avid travelers, had always dreamed of exploring new destinations together, and what better occasion than Anjali's 30th birthday? They wanted to make it truly special, a memory to cherish for a lifetime. Anjali spent countless hours researching the perfect location for their birthday getaway. She wanted a place that would captivate their senses, a destination that would provide a unique blend of adventure and relaxation. And that's when she stumbled upon Tulum, a breathtaking Caribbean coast resort known for its pristine beaches and vibrant culture. Excitement filled the air as Anjali shared her discovery with Utkarsh. The allure of Tulum was irresistible, and they both agreed that it was the perfect destination to celebrate this significant milestone. They envisioned themselves strolling along the sandy shores, indulging in delectable cuisine, and immersing themselves in the rich history and natural beauty of the region. With their hearts set on Tulum, Anjali wasted no time in making the necessary travel arrangements. Flights were booked, accommodations were secured, and an itinerary was meticulously planned. Anjali's enthusiasm was contagious, and her friends and family couldn't help but share in her excitement. Anjali, being a passionate travel blogger, documented her adventures on her Instagram account. Her followers eagerly awaited her updates, living vicariously through her captivating photographs and vivid descriptions. Her posts showcased her love for Himachal Pradesh, her homeland, and her new life in San Jose, California. Anjali proudly identified herself as a travel blogger from Himachal Pradesh, living in San Jose, California. Her Instagram bio served as a testament to her adventurous spirit and her desire to inspire others to explore the world. Just days before her departure, Anjali shared a photo of herself and Utkarsh, radiating joy and anticipation. The caption read, "Counting down the days to my 30th birthday celebration in Tulum. Can't wait to create unforgettable memories with my love. Stay tuned for the adventure." As the day of departure arrived, Anjali's family gathered to bid her farewell. They hugged her tightly, their hearts filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Little did they know that this would be the last time they would see their beloved Anjali alive. With their bags packed and hearts brimming with anticipation, Anjali and Utkarsh boarded the plane that would take them to Tulum. The world was their oyster, and they were ready to embrace every moment of their adventure. As the plane soared into the sky, little did they know that their journey would soon take a dark and tragic turn. The paradise they were heading towards would become the backdrop for a horrifying incident that would shatter their dreams and leave a void in the hearts of their loved ones. It was a warm evening in Tulum, and the vibrant atmosphere of La Malquerida restaurant drew in locals and tourists alike. Anjali Riot and her friends, 4 other foreign tourists, were enjoying a delightful dinner on the terrace, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Suddenly, the tranquility of the night was shattered by the arrival of 4 men armed with assault rifles. Chaos ensued as they unleashed a hail of bullets, targeting an adjoining table in the restaurant. Anjali and her friends found themselves caught in the crossfire, innocent victims of a violent confrontation. The stray bullets found their mark, piercing the bodies of Anjali Riot and a German woman who had been enjoying a peaceful evening. Their lives were tragically cut short, their dreams shattered in an instant. The sounds of laughter and celebration were replaced by screams of terror and anguish. As the smoke cleared and the chaos subsided, the true extent of the devastation became apparent. Anjali and the German woman lay lifeless, their bodies forever silenced. The 3 other foreign tourists, hailing from Germany and the Netherlands, were left wounded and in shock, their lives forever scarred by this senseless act of violence. Authorities swiftly arrived at the scene, launching an investigation into the shootout. It soon became clear that this was not a random act of violence, but rather a confrontation between rival organized crime gangs. Anjali and her friends were mere collateral victims, caught in the crosshairs of a dangerous underworld. The Quintana Roo State Prosecutor's Office released a statement, shedding light on the grim reality of the situation. The fight that unfolded that night was a result of 2 rival groups vying for control over the lucrative drug sales in the area. Tulum, known for its picturesque beauty, had become a battleground for these criminal organizations. Tulum, like many other parts of Mexico, was plagued by the presence of several drug cartels. The region's proximity to lucrative drug markets and its role as a landing spot for drug shipments made it a hotbed of criminal activity. The consequences of this illicit trade were felt by innocent individuals like Anjali Riot and her friends, who became unintended casualties in a war they had no part in. As news of the tragedy reached Anjali's family in India, her brother Ashish Riot took it upon himself to seek justice for his sister. sister. He reached out to the mayor of Tulum, urging them to expedite the procedures necessary for repatriating Anjali's body. Ashish's heart-wrenching plea for help echoed the pain and anguish felt by the grieving family. Anjali's father, K.D. Riot, recalled the precious moments he shared with his daughter during her last visit to their hometown in Solan. Little did he know that it would be their final time together. Anjali had spent 3 to 4 months with her family, seeking solace amidst the chaos of the pandemic before returning to California to pursue her dreams. Anjali's educational journey had taken her from her schooling days at St. Luke's in Solan and Sacred Heart High School in Dharamshala to pursuing a diploma in the film industry in Mumbai. Her thirst for knowledge led her to California, where she completed her master's in electronics from San Jose State University after obtaining her B.Tech from JP University of Information Technology, Jewett, Waknagat. Anjali's love for travel was evident in every aspect of her life. Her social media accounts showcased her adventures, inspiring others to explore the world. She had become a travel blogger, sharing her experiences and encouraging others to embrace the beauty and diversity of different cultures. Efforts were made to bring Anjali's body back to Solan, where her loved ones could bid her a final farewell. The pain of their loss was immeasurable, but they were determined to honor her memory and find solace in the love and support of their community. That brings us to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it. For more videos like this, click on the cards on your screen.